Wakam is a B2B, B2C insurance company on a mission to enable transparent and impactful insurance. They create white-label insurance solutions via their plug-and-play technology platform for more than 150 distribution partners in 32 countries worldwide. Their platform enables distribution partners to build tailor-made insurance products in a very short time and to easily manage technical results of their life portfolios. Please welcome Wakam.
My name is Matt Connolly. I'm from Sonar, which hopefully a few of you are familiar with, and I am joined today by, yes indeed, Wakam. So we have Mark from Wakam, but also we have Quentin from Cover, whose name didn't seem to get announced. Two legends of the space, and we're going to be talking about what makes a brilliant partnership. Now, I'm going to ask these guys to introduce themselves, but I'm also going to set this up in as much as Mark and I have been friends for many, many years, and he's now recently joined Wakam and has become a client. So I'm going to be on best behavior today, to a degree. So I'm going to ask introductions. Mark, could you introduce yourself, maybe a little bit of your backstory?
Backstory. Okay, so Mark Dennis, or now that I've joined Wakam, I think they call me Mark Denis, which sounds a lot more kind of sophisticated, I suppose. Yes, we are friends, and yes, now I'm your customer, so be kind. 30 years in the insurance industry, which makes me feel very old, I have to say. A long time with Munich Re. I see some colleagues in the audience, former colleagues. Co-founded Munich Re's digital partners business back in 2016, so what's that, 8.5 years ago, so I'm going to call myself an insurtech veteran, if I can say that.
Yeah, I think that's
or
fair.
just old.
Both of those are fair, I think.
Launched many insurtechs, the names that you will know, some of the OGs, back in what I'm now referring to as the Wild West of insurtech. I'm not sure I'm really allowed to say that, but 16, 17, 18 was that period where we kind of anything goes really, which was very exciting, I have to say. Probably enough of my backstory. So yeah, currently with Wakam looking after, I think my job title's changed 3 times in the last month, but currently looking after all of our commercial deals and partnerships. And very helpfully there was a video to introduce Wakam, so I won't recap all of that, but the point I would really emphasise is that in essence we're a partnerships business, very similar to what I built at Munich Re. So we are all about working in strong partnerships. So
wonderful. Thank you very much. Quentin. So also, just before this, Quentin, who I've called Quentin, Quentin. I'm going to stick with that. I think that's the right
Quentin,
way.
like Quentin Tarantino, a bit more famous than me.
True. Quentin, maybe a little introduction to yourself, please.
So hi everyone, I'm Quentin, the CEO and co-founder of Cover. As you may know, Cover is one of the leading embedded insurance orchestration player, where we enable any businesses, but also risk carrier and broker to orchestrate the pan-European insurance program. I already feel also that I'm a bit too old because, you know, we, as an insurtech, we have been founded in 2016, so we are already the old kind of insurtech, I would say. I know Mark also from Munich Re Digital Partners, where Cover was partnering with them. So a second reason why we are very old, and we have a proud partner of Wakam since already 7 or 8 years.
Love it, thank you. What I want to explore today is the relationship that Wakam and Cover have, because it's a beautiful partnership, but also to tap into both of you guys and your knowledge banks, your experience, to really explore what makes a great partnership. Mark, on the basis that you have been with Wakam for 5 minutes, maybe I look to you, Quentin, for the origin story to the partnership itself, right? So I know you guys, and there's a lot of press around the work you've done with Revolut, for example, together, but I'm sure it goes beyond that. So maybe talk about how you came together, whether it was with you or with Wakam, and then a journey through the years as succinctly as you possibly can.
So long story short, when we started Cover in 2016, I met Olivier Jaillon. Olivier Jaillon is the chairman of Wakam, and if you met Olivier Jaillon, you don't forget him, but only for the good reasons. And at that time, we actually had an opportunity to do the business of Deliveroo, so it was much before Revolut. And you know, Deliveroo is a gig economy players, they are delivering food. And the request from Deliveroo was to provide, on a European level, a third-party liability insurance and a personal accident and an income protection insurance in Spain, Italy, Belgium, Netherlands, Ireland, France. And when we had the opportunity on the table and we went to several risk carriers back in 2016, most of them say, you know what, insurance for people that drive as quick as possible on a bike to deliver food when it's dark in the traffic with a lot of car, thank you, we don't have appetite for that kind of risk. And on top of that, it's not about the risk that was very specific, but also the type of company. It was a digital-first company, very driven, very innovative. And so we were like out of possibilities, and I took my phone, I called Olivier, I say, Olivier, would you be keen to do that? And Olivier said, let's do it. Okay. And he showed me that it was easier to do pan-European business than I thought, and the first collaboration was already a very successful one.
When was this?
So that was, I think, in 2017, and in the meantime, forward-looking, we started with Deliveroo. We actually have also a nice partnership in bike insurance in many countries. We do Canyon Bike, one of the best bike player, Cowboy. We also do Revolut in 32 countries with Wakam. We have many programs with them, cancellation for any reason, purchase protection, very innovative one. And we're actually also doing some motor business, some fleet insurance in France. And we have a great partnership with I would call the most prominent EV manufacturer in the world, but I'm not allowed to publicly name it. But I guess everyone got it, and we do the official program there in the UK.
So, yeah, I'm just desperate to ask who that is, but I appreciate you can't say. And I remember writing, so I write a newsletter, some of you may subscribe to, right, every other week. And I remember writing something about the Revolut relationship, but it's again, like your Deliveroo situation where you phone Olivier and, it happens in an instant. But I remember something about that partnership, the depth of that activity being structured in such an enormously quick time. I don't know if you're able to kind of share any details within that, right?
No,
because it's quite incredible.
Yeah, so I think, at Cover, we have a lot of deals in the neobank, fintech industry, in the mobility industry. And what you have to understand with those new players that are tech-driven and digital first is that they have another way to think about insurance. They think about, first, how we can really create value to the consumer. And one of their perspectives is the loss ratio, and they want to maximize loss ratio. And I think we should all be on a mission, by the way, to maximize the loss ratio because it's the value we create to the society while being profitable. But those new players, they will put an extensive pressure on the target loss ratio. I would say close to 99.9% if possible. Of course, it's not possible, but that's the dream. And also, they want to think about a much better product. So with Revolut, we do a a purchase protection product, but that covers everything you buy with your Revolut card up to 1 year after the purchase, while the traditional product is 90 days. We do a cancellation for any reason. Take a flight ticket, whatever reason you cancel, you get refunded. That's kind of very innovative product. But on top, we've made Wakam work a lot. I think they make hundreds of quotes just for them because the clients want already to innovate, find the right product, to iterate, and so on and so on. And then at the end, we had to launch this product in 32 countries in 3 months' time period. Wow. And that's with API integration, super tech-driven, innovative product. So that's kind of neotech, fintech, neobank fintech partnership, yeah.
Okay, love it. And how long has it been, Mark? 3 months? 4 months?
A couple of months, yep.
Yep. Have you had much exposure to the Cover relationship?
A little bit, in a couple of conversations, but just to add to that, the backstory, if you like. So we have a load of cultural markers at Wakam, so maybe this is a bit of an insight into life inside the shop. And one of them is Say Yes by Design, and we're very velocity-driven. So to that story, our job is to find solutions. So it's easy to say yes, but then you've got to kind of deliver stuff, right? So we're very focused on building great, I wouldn't even just say product, I'd say great solutions for everybody in that kind of partnership. And it's not a point-to-point relationship. There's lots of parties involved in a partnership, including, of course, the end customer. So our goal is to build great stuff as fast as we can. Quentin mentioned, kind of minimum loss ratios, if you like. We kind of try and control commission so that everybody in the value chain, customer all the way through to, I should say, reinsurer probably, feels like they're kind of winning something out of this relationship. So nobody should feel like they're losing, if that makes sense. Now, it sounds a bit of a noble quest, but that's our aim.
Okay, and let's take that a little bit. So maybe we use the Wakam cover partnership as examples within this, but I'd love to let's rewind the clock, right? I mean, the world of partnerships has been sort of in your blood for many years, as you alluded to.
I've had
right?
many partners.
You're not getting younger, and can you share some learnings over the years on kind of what makes a successful partnership, and whether it's with the cover relationship or others that you've seen in the space?
It is really like any relationship. A lot of it comes down to communication, right? So kind of understanding each other if you like. Mm-hmm. And the other piece I always look at is behaviour. So I sound a bit like a parent now, don't I? I'm a parent. But it's how people behave in that partnership, and not just when things are going well, but when things are a bit more challenging. So understanding the pressures. So for example, why am I putting pressure on Content to put some additional rate in? Haven't mentioned that yet, by the way. I'll just throw it out there. I'm joking. How do you respond to that?
Yep.
When he's got some pressures on the distribution end, how can I respond to that? He wants to launch in 32 countries in 3 months. How can I solve that? So it's all about this kind of open communication and trust. Maybe an anecdote from the past. When I was at Munich Re, I think we thought, this is sort of like, back in the day, we thought we ought to be providing almost everything. So we were the provider of choice, if you like, for everything in that partnership. Now, of course, much of the conversations you'll hear today is about ecosystem and how you can bring in people who are good at the things that we need in that ecosystem. So probably avoiding locking someone into I call it negative sticky rather than positive sticky. So locking them in and they can't maneuver is really bad, and we kind of moved away from that model historically. And Wakam is definitely a positive sticky company, so we do stuff that's good for our partnership and people stay with us.
Okay, so a much more collaborative approach.
Yeah.
And have you, does that resonate with the relationship that you have with Wakam?
So, I was thinking about that. So Wakam, I would love to say is our preferred partner, but there are other risk carrier in the room, so I have to say is one of our preferred risk carrier, our partner. But for me, we always see cover sometimes as a natural extension of the Wakam team, and I wanted to understand why. I understand that there is a fit on several pillars. You have the why, the how, the what, the positioning, and the mutual care. On the why, Wakam is a mission-driven company. Wakam has launched a product in the French market with zero margin for certain type of the population. Mm-hmm. The vision of cover is to build a global safety net. I would like to live in a world where we don't need to sell insurance because insurance is integrated everywhere, and we are thinking about the low commission, very high loss ratio, because the loss ratio is what we create for the society. So on the why of the existence of the two companies, there is a strong match. Then on the how, we have decided both to be a tech-driven company, to think about the customer experience. We leverage API everywhere. We think a lot about the data. So the how we do business is actually very much aligned. Then the what is also very important. Cover is a managed platform with a TPA, and you can call us an MGA, but it's managed platform and TPA and with a license. Wakam is the risk carrier, and so on the what is very clear who is doing what. And none of them have ever tried to stab the other one in the back and try to get into direct. And each time a client went into direct to Wakam, then Wakam said, no, you have to contact cover. I can tell you there are other risk carriers with whom we don't work anymore that went into direct. And having a clarity on who is doing what and that you don't have overlap is helping the relationship. The positioning, I think we grew together. We had a very specific positioning about the fintech innovative player, digital disruptor. And now both of us, we are growing to much more jumbo deal, large deal, enterprise-ready deal, because we are having a certain maturity. And then we have the same, positioning. And when you think about the why, the how, the what, the positioning, it speaks well, it works well. And then on the mutual care, despite we are an insurance intermediary, we really believe that I need my insurer to make profit. And vice versa, Wakam is very much looking at us, okay, but do you live enough? Do you make enough money to optimize the relationship, the process, and so on? And we have a very open discussion about how do we share value and how we do make sure that everyone in the ecosystem is happy. And that's very unique. And I have to say that those kind of natural extension and partnership, I have not seen that much in this world. but he's resonate a lot with the concept of embedded insurance, because embedded insurance is an ecosystem play, including the partner and the final user.
But I'm sure it's not all smooth sailing. That's maybe an English expression. It's not all so easy, right? You must have your challenges, as with Carrie's in the room with Wakam.
I mean, at the end, I think we have more challenge with the distributor, because the distributor of the new generation, the new player, the disruptor, they really fight hard for the best value proposition, the highest loss ratio. For example, with Revolut and Wakam, the cancellation any reason, the claim settlement must happen in 24 hours. So from the filing of the claims, which is integrated, it's an API integration in the Revolut app. From the filing of the claim, we have 24 hours to pay. And by the way, I forgot to tell you that, but we have a complaint because someone filed a claim on Friday and he complained that he was only paid Monday morning, and he find that is not acceptable.
Would you like to speak to that, Mark?
I've just written that down.
No, but it's just to make sure that actually Wakam is very reactive, very agile, and other insurers, I have to say that they are trying to solve the problem to find a solution. And what we realize with InsurTech and risk carrier, we are not playing against each other. We are enabler. We are playing together. And once we understand that, it makes the relationship very smooth. Having said that, the challenge is more about how high is the expectation from the new distributor, where they give very specific SLA with penalty fees if you miss the SLAs and so on and so on.
Sure. So, I mean, there's a whole ton of stuff in there, right? So you talk about communication, you talk about kind of the commercial aspect of the relationship. It needs to win all around. You talk about the values all the way through to strategy. What if there is like a single thread, right? So we were exploring what makes a great partnership. Yeah, you guys have made it work. If there is a single thread that you can talk through that makes a great partnership. So I keep interrupting you as you just open your mouth to speak.
That's what friends do, right? It's probably compromise. I treat this as a sort of relationship model, if you like, and
it's like a marriage and parenting at the same time.
At the risk of repeating myself, I'm probably married to 150 people, which is complicated at the weekends. But it's kind of managing expectations and compromise. And we talk about alignment of interests a lot, and we always used to bang on about this a bit in my previous roles. But the risk there is that you're sort of seeking perfection, and you really have to avoid seeking perfection. By the way, this is also marital guidance in case anyone asks for some. Don't seek perfection, because it doesn't exist, and you have to find the place in the middle that everybody's happy. And that's exactly the same in a commercial relationship. Yes, we want to make money. Contan's exactly right. We are very mission-driven. I can tell you categorically I would not have joined Wakam if it wasn't aligned to my values about building good businesses but in the right way and making sure that everybody is kind of accounted for in that value chain. So I think it's really, to sum it up in a word, it's compromise, but it's probably all bundled up around that, communicating within your relationship. This is not advice for you.
I'm loving it.
I'm just saying,
if you guys just want to leave, we'll just carry this chat on.
So I'm available after this for
great.
marital guidance for anybody that needs it. So, but it's all about comms, really, right?
Yeah, sure. Contan, what about from your perspective?
So first of all, don't expect you can do a partnership with everyone. The first rule is very simple. As I say, you need to look, is there like a real alignment, the why, the how, the what, the positioning, and if things are not clear, then you should not enter a partnership. And you need an alignment in DNA, an alignment in mission, in vision, in how you share the task, and so on. And first, if you don't have that, for sure, it will be a marriage that will fail and not be successful. So then the second piece of the puzzle, once you have that, because this is not enough, it's a qualifying criteria, I would say, to make it work, a business is at the end just a sum of people. It's a bunch of people working together, and it's about, are we able to have a kind of cultural fit, to have a nice contact. Usually we say at Cover, the way to win something is to bring the other into WhatsApp. So I have WhatsApp with most of the people at Wakam, and I can WhatsApp them any time of the day, the night, the weekend, and we are very collaborative. And so it tends to people that want to work together, that trust each other, and at the end, that's the final, recipe or secret recipe that need to occur once the strategic fit work.
Yeah. Ladies and gents, sadly, that is all we have time for. A great relationship from Wakam and Cover. Time flies. Thank you very much to both of you, to you as the audience, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you.